कन्वेक्शन हम लोगों को पता है कि कंडक्शन में क्या था कि एनर्जी ट्रांसफर होता था, हीट एनर्जी ट्रांसफर होता था, राइट। यहाँ पे कन्वेक्शन में बेसिकली हीट एनर्जी ट्रांसफर ना होके बेसिकली मॉलिक्यूल्स खुद ट्रांसफर करेगा एक रीजन से दूसरे रीजन, हीट को हीट को हेल्प करेगा ट्रांसफर होने के लिए. So the process in which heat is transferred from hot to cold end by the actual migration of molecules or atoms of medium is called convection. Convection is of heat is the process of transfer of heat through a material medium in which the particles of the medium carry thermal energy by moving from the high temperature region to the low temperature region. So particle itself carries thermal energy from higher temperature to lower temperature. So this is what is known as convection. Mechanism of convection. To describe convection process, let us consider one example in which water kept in a beaker is heated. So when the beaker containing water is placed on a burner, the water at the bottom just above the flame is the first to receive heat. As a result of which it expands and its density decreases. है ना, expand करेगा, density decrease करेगा, so this water thus becomes lighter and moves upward and is replaced by heavier water situated above and around it. So this water is in turn heated, it expands, its density decreases and it moves upward. तो ये process continue होगा. ये जो यहाँ पे जो water है ये heat करेगा, expand करेगा, इसका density less होगा, ऊपर जाएगा. जो ऊपर जो cold particles था, cold molecules था, वो नीचे आएगा. अब फिर से ये heat up होगा और फिर से expand करेगा, फिर से density less होगा, फिर ऊपर जाएगा, and this process will continue. So the heating of water is due to convection process. This circulatory movement of water is called convection current. Transfer of heat due to convection process takes place in liquids and gases. Okay. Now, there are three forms of convection. Two forms of convection. One is natural convection and another is forced convection. Natural convection क्या है? If the material moves due to difference in density and presence of gravity, due to difference in density and due to the presence of gravity, the process of heat transfer is called natural or free convection. Natural convection arises, okay, so natural convection arises due to unequal heating of fluid and gravity. Here the more heated and less dense parts of the fluid rise and are replaced by cooler parts. So natural convection is responsible for origin of different types of winds in the atmosphere. Second is forced convection. So if the heated material is forced to move by an agency like a pump or a blower, the process of heat transfer is called forced convection. Air conditioning, central heating systems, and heating of liquid by brisk stirring are examples of forced convection. ठीक है, तो कोई एजेंसी उसको फोर्स करता है उस मॉलिक्यूल्स को, मतलब एक रीजन से दूसरे रीजन में जाने में, और उसके वजह से वो हीट ट्रांसफर होता है. सो ये जो फोर्स होता है ये बेसिकली किसी पंप के सहायता से करते हैं या फिर एक ब्लोअर लगा होता है उसके यूज से करते हैं. तो any of these extra machinery is required to move the particles and hence carry the heat from one region to other region. So that is known as forced convection. Then we have convection current. During the convection process, some molecules of heat of liquid move towards the source of heat. When they reach to the source of heat, they receive thermal energy and then move away from the source of heat. The motion of the particles of the liquid results in a liquid flow, which is called convection current. So the liquid flow which carries heat from one region to other region is known as convection current. Then third form of transfer of heat is radiation. So thermal radiation is the process of transfer of heat in the form of electromagnetic waves for which material medium is not necessary. हमें पता है electromagnetic waves में material medium is not required. Kriti, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Now I can hear you.
Okay, okay. So कुछ नेट का प्रॉब्लम होगा, हो सकता है ना? चलो. So thermal radiation is the process of transfer of heat in the form of electromagnetic waves for which material medium is not necessary. है ना? वैक्यूम में भी ट्रांसफर हो सकता है क्योंकि इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव्स को मटेरियल मीडियम की जरूरत नहीं होती है. सो वैक्यूम में भी ट्रांसफर हो सकता है हीट, और ये जो प्रोसेस है इसको थर्मल रेडिएशन कहेंगे. So as electromagnetic waves travel with the velocity of light, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, radiation is the fastest process of heat transfer. Now, because the speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, so radiation is the fastest process to carry heat from one region to other region. The wavelength of heat waves is much greater than the wavelength of the light waves. Heat energy transmitted either in the presence of medium or absence of medium. So heat energy is transmitted either in the presence of medium or in the absence of medium. Vacuum में भी transfer होगा. Thermal radiation exhibit all the properties of light like reflection, refraction, etc. So all the properties of light are followed here. Now thermal radiation do not affect the medium through which they pass. Okay. So these thermal radiation do not affect the medium through which they pass. Okay. Now definition related to radiations. First is, when radiation falls on the surface of a body, a part of it is reflected. Some gets absorbed and the remaining gets transmitted. Okay. So if Q is the total energy incident, right? So if Q is the total energy incident on a body in a given time, QR is energy reflected, QA is energy absorbed, and QT is energy transmitted. Okay. So ये energy transmitted, energy absorbed, energy reflected, and this is incident energy. तो आप ये देखिए जो energy incident हुआ, some of the energy is reflected, some of it is absorbed, and some of it is transmitted. So energy reflected plus energy absorbed plus energy transmitted. Okay. If you add each of this gives you the total energy Q. So total energy incident on a body is equal to energy reflected plus energy absorbed plus energy transmitted. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now reflectance क्या होता है? Ratio of the amount of energy reflected to the amount of energy incident is called reflectance power. It is denoted by R. So R is equal to QR upon Q. Okay. So reflectance is energy reflected by energy incident. Then we have transmittance. So transmittance is ratio of amount of energy transmitted to the total amount of energy incident is called transmittance. It is denoted by small t. So transmittance is energy transmitted by energy incident. Then we have third is absorptance. So ratio of amount of energy absorbed to the total amount of energy incident is called absorption power or absorptance. It is denoted by A. So amount of energy absorbed by total amount of energy incident. Now, if you see this, so reflectance plus transmittance plus absorptance is equal to 1, right? So sum of all this, reflectance plus transmittance plus absorptance, is equal to 1. Reflectance will always be less than equal to 1, transmittance will also be less than equal to 1, and absorptance will also be less than equal to 1. The value of R, T, and A depends on the surface of material and wavelength of radiation. So if A is equal to 0, right? So if A is equal to 0, T is equal to 0, then R is equal to 1. Such a surface is a total or perfect reflector. Okay. Similarly, if R is equal to 0, तो यहाँ पे देखो reflectance 1 हो गया तो perfect reflector कहलाएगा. Similarly, if R is equal to 0, T is equal to 0, then A is equal to 1. Such a surface is total absorber and is called a black body. If R is equal to 0, A is 0 and T is equal to 1, the surface is then perfectly transparent and the substance is called diathermanous. So T is equal to 1 यहाँ पे. Clear?
Sir, actually, I had joined a bit late because there was some problem with Zoom. The first thing we did today was convection, right?
We started with convection. Convection में theory ही बस किया है. Radiation में भी बस theory अभी तक किया है. अभी questions नहीं किया है एक भी.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
अब emissive power. So it is the amount of radiant energy emitted per second from a unit area of the radiating surface, right? So amount of radiant energy emitted per second from a unit area of the radiating surface is called emissive power. If Q is the energy emitted in time t by a body of surface area A, so then the emissive power is given by E is equal to Q divided by A into T. So SI unit of emissive power is joule per second per meter square or watt per meter square. Dimension of emissive power are given by M1 L0 T minus 3. Emissive power in differential form E is equal to 1 by A dQ upon dt. So dQ upon dt is power emitted, right? Or E is equal to P upon A. Now emission of a body is independent of energy incident unit. Now spectral emissive power. अब emissive power के बाद अब spectral emissive power. It is defined at a particular wavelength. So it is the amount of radiant energy of wavelength lambda emitted per second per unit area in a unit wavelength range around lambda. तो unit wavelength range मतलब lambda minus 1 और lambda plus 1. तो इस unit wavelength range. Now if D is the emissive power between the wavelength range lambda and lambda plus d lambda, then d by d lambda is E lambda. Right. Now the unit of spectral emissive power is watt per meter cube. देखो ये जो E का देखोगे तो watt per meter square था, अब d by d lambda कर दिया, wavelength से और divide कर दिया तो watt per meter cube हो गया. Total emissive power E and spectral emissive power E lambda are related as E lambda d lambda. इसको इधर ले जाएंगे, E lambda d lambda integrate कर देंगे, that will give you the total emissive power. So this is the relation between emissive power and spectral emissive power. Now spectral absorptive power, ratio of amount of energy absorbed by the surface at a particular wavelength in a unit spectral width to the amount of energy incident over it at the same wavelength in unit spectral width is called spectral absorptive power. So if q lambda a is the amount of energy absorbed by surface between wavelength lambda and lambda plus d lambda, and q lambda is amount of energy incident on the surface between wavelength lambda and lambda plus d lambda. So amount of energy incident and amount of energy absorbed. So spectral absorptive power is amount of energy absorbed by total amount of energy which is incident around that wavelength between wavelength lambda and lambda plus d lambda. So this is spectral absorptive power. Now perfectly black body, a body which absorbs all the radiation falling on it is called a black body. तो जो सारा radiation absorb कर लेगा उसको black body बोलेंगे. The absorptance of a perfectly black body is unity, right? So absorptance A is equal to 1, R is equal to 0 और T is equal to 0. ये हम लोग अभी देख भी रहे थे पीछे. The black body emits radiation of all possible wavelengths from 0 to infinity. Okay. The emission spectrum of a black body is perfect continuous. The perfect black body is only an ideal conception. The body which completely absorbs the radiation of all wavelengths incident on it and there is no reflection and transmission is called a perfectly black body. Black body emits radiation of all the wavelength on heating and it is a good emitter. The nature of radiation emitted by the black body. So nature of radiation emitted by the black body depends only on the temperature. It does not depend on its nature, size, mass, etc. Now sun is treated as black body emitting radiation. So sun is treated as a black body emitting radiation and ideal black body need not be black color. जैसे example sun है. Stephen's law, according to this law, the amount of energy radiated by a body per unit area per second, that is emissive power, is directly proportional to the fourth power of its absolute temperature. So if E is the amount of energy radiated per unit area per second and T is the absolute temperature of the body, then E, emissive power, so energy radiated is directly proportional to fourth power of temperature. E is proportional to T raised to the power 4 or E is equal to sigma into T raised to the power 4. So where sigma is Stephen's constant whose value is given by 5.67 into 10 to the power minus 8, and so if the body is not perfectly black body, then E is equal to epsilon sigma T raised to the power 4, where epsilon is emissivity of body. Also power emitted is given by P is equal to E into A, where A is area of the body and P is equal to epsilon A sigma into T raised to the power 4. Now cooling by radiation, so consider a body at temperature T placed in surrounding having temperature T naught. तो body का temperature T है, surrounding का temperature अगर T naught है, so the body emits radiation as well as absorbs radiation falling on it from surrounding. T is the temperature of the body in Kelvin, T naught is temperature of surrounding, A is surface area of the body, and dQ is heat loss in time dt. Right. Now, amount of energy radiated by the body per second is epsilon sigma T raised to the power 4 into A. So amount of energy absorbed by the body per second is epsilon sigma T naught raised to the power 4 into A. So energy absorbed or energy radiated दोनों हम लोग देख रहे हैं. So temperature of surrounding दे रखा है T naught और temperature of body दे रखा है. Now in accordance with हीट एक्सचेंज थ्योरी अगर हम लोग देखें, नेट रेट ऑफ लॉस ऑफ एनर्जी पर सेकेंड dq by dt is epsilon sigma t raised to the power 4a minus epsilon sigma t naught raised to the power 4a. So dq by dt is epsilon sigma a t4 minus t naught 4. So if m is the mass of the body and s is specific heat, the rate of loss of heat is given by ms dt. हमारा heat हो गया और लॉस ऑफ हीट है नेगेटिव साइन लगा रहे हैं. रेट ऑफ लॉस ऑफ हीट मतलब टाइम से डिवाइड भी करेंगे तो डी क्यू बाई डी टी इज एम एस माइनस ऑफ डी टी अपॉन डी टी. ना नेगेटिव साइन इंप्लाइज दैट टेम्परेचर इज डिक्रीजिंग. सो अब इन दोनों को इक्वेट कर देते हैं, इसको और इसको इक्वेट कर देते हैं तो एम एस माइनस डी टी बाई डी टी इज दिस. सो माइनस ऑफ डी टी बाई डी टी विल बी सिग्मा एप्सिलॉन ए divided by ms t4 minus t naught 4. Minus dt by dt is rate of cooling basically, and it depends on rate of cooling किस पे depend कर रहा है, sigma पे depend कर रहा है, nature of radiating surface, area of radiating surface, उसके बाद mass of radiating surface, specific heat of radiating surface, temperature of radiating body and temperature of surrounding. इन सब चीजों पे depend कर रहा है. Now, if you see this 35th example, so a body, a solid copper sphere, so यहाँ पे copper sphere है. A solid copper sphere cools at the rate of 2.8 degree Celsius per minute when its temperature is 127 degree Celsius. ठीक है, तो ये जो cool कर रहा है dt upon dt is minus of 2.8 degrees Celsius per minute. ठीक है, when the temperature is 127 degrees Celsius. उसके बाद find the rate at which another solid copper sphere of twice the radius. तो इसका रेडियस अगर r है, इसका रेडियस 2r हो गया, twice the radius, lose its temperature at 327 degrees Celsius. If in both the cases the room temperature is maintained at 27 degrees Celsius, तो room temperature यहाँ पे 27 degrees Celsius, दोनों केस में, यहाँ पे भी और इस केस में हम लोग को निकालना है find the rate at which another solid body copper sphere of twice the radius lose its temperature. So dt by dt यहाँ पे निकालना है हम लोग को, इस केस में हम लोग को dt by dt निकालना है. So पहला फर्स्ट स्फीयर का अगर हम लोग देखते हैं, so in case of first sphere, ठीक है, we have heat lost per second will be equal to dq upon dt ms dt upon dt. ठीक है, मास इसका क्या हो गया, this is equal to mass is 4 by 3 pi r cube volume into density into s into dt upon dt. यहाँ पे 2.8 दे रखा है, 2.8 यूज कर लेते हैं. ठीक है, this is also equal to sigma a t raised to the power 4 minus t naught raised to the power 4. So this implies 4 by 3 pi r cube sigma s 2.8 is equal to सिग्मा इंटू ए को हम लोग 4 पाई आर स्क्वायर लिखेंगे टी रेस टू द पावर 4 पहले 127 था और फिर 127 प्लस 273 400 केल्विन 400 माइनस T04 300 400 raised to the power 4 300 raised to the power 4 okay now इसमें 4 पाई आर क्यूब 4 पाई आर स्क्वायर ये एक आर बच जाएगा ठीक है so this is equal to 2.8 upon 3 r rho s is equal to sigma 400 raised to the power 4 minus 300 raised to the power 4 अब सेकेंड स्फीयर के लिए अगर हम लोग करें सो सेकेंड स्फीयर के लिए यहाँ पे हीट लॉस्ट पर सेकेंड निकालेंगे अगर इज इक्वल टू फोर बाय 3 पाई रेडियस 2r हो गया 2r क्यूब सो 4 बाय 3 पाई 2r क्यूब डेंसिटी रो s dt अपॉन dt निकालना है हम लोगों को ठीक है इज इक्वल टू सिग्मा इंटू 4 पाई 2r स्क्वायर और यहाँ पे 327 से 27 हो रहा है मतलब 600 रेज टू द पावर 4 माइनस 300 रेज टू द पावर 4 ठीक है अब यहाँ पे इसको कैंसिल करेंगे 4 पाई 2r क्यूब का एक 2r बस बचेगा 4 पाई 2r स्क्वायर कैंसिल हो गया सो इससे आ जाएगा 2r अपॉन 3 रो s dt अपॉन dt sigma into 600 raised to the power 4 minus 300 raised to the power 4 ठीक है अब हम लोग क्या करते हैं दोनों को डिवाइड कर दो ये फर्स्ट वाला है ये सेकंड है डिवाइडिंग 1 डिवाइडेड बाई 2 कर देंगे 1 डिवाइडेड बाई 2 करेंगे ये रो आर एस रह गया यहाँ so if we divide 1 by 2 we get 2.8 divided by 3 r rho s divided by 2 r by 3 rho s ठीक है एक ही आ रहे हैं यहाँ पे सारे ठीक है dt upon dt is equal to 400 raised to the power 4 minus 300 raised to the power 4 divided by sigma 600 raised to the power 4 minus 300 raised to the power 4 ठीक है अब देखो ये ROS by 3 कैंसिल हो गया, सिग्मा सिग्मा कैंसिल हो गया। इसको अब हम लोग सॉल्व करते हैं। सो वी हैव 2.8 divided by 2 into dt upon dt is equal to, अब 100 रेज टू द पावर 4 को कॉमन ले लो, मतलब 4 रेज टू द पावर 4, आई एम सॉरी, 4 raised to the power 4 minus 3 raised to the power 4 by 6 raised to the power 4 minus 3 raised to the power 4. So dt upon dt is equal to 2.8 by 2 क्या हो गया, 1.4 हो गया, 1.4 into 6 raised to the power 4 minus 3 raised to the power 4, 1215 divided by 4 raised to the power 4 minus 3 raised to the power 4, 175. So this is 1.41215 divided by 175, 9.72. Is it clear? Clear बच्चों?
Yes, sir.
लिख लिया आपने?
Yes, sir.
अब ये Newton's laws of cooling. So Newton's law of cooling, according to Newton's cooling law, if temperature difference between body and its surrounding is not large, then rate of cooling at the instant is directly proportional to the temperature difference of body from the surrounding. So let T is temperature of body at any time T. T naught is temperature of surrounding assumed constant. Suppose temperature of body changes from T to T minus dt in time interval dt. So note that dt is the change in temperature of body in time dt. So according to Newton's cooling law, T minus T naught is small. Then at any instant, minus of dt by dt is equal to T, is proportional to T minus T naught, right? तो ये कह रहा है rate of cooling is directly proportional to the temperature difference of body from surrounding, right? तो rate of cooling क्या है, minus dt by dt है. This is directly proportional to change in temperature. Now, or minus dt by dt is equal to k times t minus t naught. Proportionality sign को अगर equality sign से replace करेंगे, so this is k times t minus t naught. Now, negative sign implies that temperature of body is decreasing with time. Now, if a body cools by radiation from temperature T1 to T2 in time T and temperature of surrounding is T0, then Newton's law of cooling becomes T1 minus T2 by T is equal to K times T1 plus T2 by 2, जो average temperature T1 plus T2 by 2 minus of T0. So, ये दो फॉर्मूलेज हैं जो कि हम लोग को ध्यान में रखना है, ठीक है. Now next one is, if a liquid takes 30 seconds in cooling of 80 degree to 70 degree and 70 seconds in cooling from 60 to 50 degree, ठीक है. So then find the room temperature. तो हम लोग को रूम टेम्परेचर निकालना है. तो हम लोग अभी तुरंत देख रहे थे T1 minus T2 upon T is equal to K times T1 plus T2 by 2 minus of T0. Right. So this is the equation. So T1 minus T2. So 80 minus 70 divided by T, 30 seconds is equal to k times 80 plus 70 by 2 minus of t naught जो हम लोग को निकालना है, right? So 80 minus 70 is 10 by 30, मतलब 1 by 3 is equal to k times 150 by 2, मतलब 75 minus t naught. First equation. Second case में अब कह रहा है कि 60 डिग्री टू 50 डिग्री 70 सेकेंड्स में कूल हो रहा है, तो 60 minus 50 by 70 is equal to k times 60 plus 50 by 2 minus of t naught. So this is 60 minus 50 is 10 by 70, मतलब 1 by 7 is k times 110 by 2 is 55 minus t naught. Second equation. अब इनको डिवाइड अगर हम लोग कर देते हैं, डिवाइडिंग 1 by 2. So this is 1 by 3 divided by 1 by 7 is equal to k times 75 minus t naught, k times 55 minus t naught. K cancel हो गया. So this is 1 by 3 divided by 1 by 7, मतलब 7 by 3 is equal to 75 minus t naught by 55 minus t naught. क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई कर लेंगे, 7 into 55 minus t naught, 3 into 75 minus t naught. So this is 55 into 7, 385 minus 7 t naught is equal to 225 minus 3 t naught. So 385 minus 225, 160. 7 minus 3, 4 t naught. T naught is equal to 40 degree Celsius. Is it clear, bachcho?
Yes, sir.
लिख लिया आपने?
Yes, sir.
Now we'll start thermodynamics. इसमें इतना ही करना है. तुम लोगों ने अपना अपना मार्क्स देख लिया नीट का जो टेस्ट हुआ था?
Yes, sir.
कहाँ गड़बड़ हुई?
सर वही तो वो समझ नहीं आ रहा, लाइक अभी पेपर देखूंगा तो फिर पेशेंस से सर, लाइक एक पेपर जैसे ही खत्म हुआ तो सोचा सर 652 तक बन जाएंगे, फिर जब पेपर आया एकदम 100 नंबर कम, बूम.
तो इतना ज्यादा डिस्पैरिटी कैसे हो गया फिर? कैसे 652? तुमने तो वहां पे तो सोल्यूशन वगैरह तो तुमको दिख ही रहा होगा, नहीं दिख रहा था?
हाँ सर, लाइक अभी देखा ना कि मतलब हो गए मार्क्स अपलोड, कल तक लाइक कल ब्लैंक ही दिखा रहा था, तो फिर देखा नहीं मैंने, तो अभी फिर थोड़ी देर पहले ही देखा मैंने, तो अभी रिव्यू करूंगा उसको।
अच्छा। और बाकी किसी ने रिव्यू किया, देखा?
सर मैंने आज अंकित सर को लिखा था, मुझे उसमें रिव्यू का ऑप्शन नहीं दे रहा।
रिव्यू का ऑप्शन नहीं दे रहा? क्यों? मैंने
नहीं।
तो सबका इनेबल कर दिया था। एक मिनट।
सर 3 o'clock के अराउंड नहीं आ रहा था, फिर मतलब केमिस्ट्री की क्लास जब थी अभी 4:30 के अराउंड, तब आ गया था तब तक।
ना मैंने तो उसी समय कर दिया था, कल ही मैंने। अब जब तुमको मार्क्स भेजा था ना, कल रात में भेजा था ना मार्क्स मैंने।
यस
यस
सर।
सर।
कल ही मैंने उसके सारे चेंजेस कर दिए थे उसमें। So, अगर हम स्टैटिस्टिक्स देखें, एक मिनट। सो सॉल्यूशन टू यूजर अलाउ, ये सो एनालिटिक्स, सो स्कोर, सब कुछ कर दिया था हम लोगों ने। सारा चेंज किया हुआ, अलाउ रिव्यू पीडीएफ डाउनलोड, अलाउ क्वेश्चन पीडीएफ डाउनलोड, सब मैंने इनेबल कर दिया था उसी समय ना, कल ही कर दिया था। हो सकता है उनके वेबसाइट पे कुछ प्रॉब्लम होगी, जो इसमें इसके जो प्लेटफॉर्म पे कुछ प्रॉब्लम होगा। अभी तो दिस इज व्हाट वी कैन सी, 559।
ओके सर।
और आंसर देखेंगे तो आंसर भी दिखेगा हम लोग को। खैर मुझे तो एनीवेज दिखेगा, मैं तो एडमिन राइट्स है। तुम लोग अपना देख लेना एक बार, है ना?
यस सर।
सब्जेक्ट वाइज एनालिसिस क्या किया है आपने? सब्जेक्ट वाइज फिजिक्स में 7 इनकरेक्ट है। चलो, फिजिक्स में तो इस बार मैंने थोड़ा सा टफ बनाया भी था। टफ क्या मतलब, हाँ मतलब 4-5 क्वेश्चंस थे ऐसे कि जो अच्छे क्वेश्चंस थे। बट वैसा तुम एक्सपेक्ट करो, मतलब उतना तो रहेगा, है ना? तो थोड़ा सा और वर्क करने की जरूरत है। 559 है, 600 के ऊपर ही रखो कि हर बार एग्जाम में 600 के ऊपर है।
यस सर।
और सेम आपके लिए भी सिद्धांत। और कृतिका इस बार नीचे रह गया है। सरीना,
हाँ सर, मुझे केमिस्ट्री में बहुत टाइम लग गया तो मेरा बायोलॉजी भी छूट गया बहुत सारा।
तुम उल्टा करती हो, बायोलॉजी सबसे पहले करना चाहिए। इसीलिए सबसे पहले करना चाहिए क्योंकि बायोलॉजी में या तो आंसर आता है या नहीं आता है। उसमें कुछ सॉल्व करने की जरूरत नहीं होती है। और उससे क्या होगा, तुम्हारा आधा पेपर खत्म हो जाएगा। समझ रहे हो ना? सी, आउट ऑफ 180 क्वेश्चन यू हैव 90 क्वेश्चन इन बायो, and that 90 question can be very easily done, can be done in 1 hour. Do you agree or not?
यस सर।
है ना? क्योंकि उसमें तो देखो, पढ़ोगे, ऑप्शन पढ़ोगे और आता है नहीं आता आगे बढ़ते जाओगे, मतलब जो आता है तो वही उसमें से चूज करके करोगे। तो 1 घंटे से 1.25 घंटे के अंदर तुमको खत्म कर लेना चाहिए योर बायो वाला पोर्शन। 1 आवर में कर लोगे तो सबसे अच्छा है। उसके बाद फिर तुम कोई भी सब्जेक्ट चूज करो, केमिस्ट्री चूज करो, फिजिक्स चूज करो, अकॉर्डिंग टू योर लाइकिंग। जो अच्छा है, मतलब जिसमें तुमको ज्यादा कमांड है, वो पहले करो। मतलब बायो बायो के बाद, बायो सबसे पहले, उसके बाद फिर या तो फिजिक्स करेंगे या केमिस्ट्री करेंगे। और उसको करने के बाद फिर थर्ड में केमिस्ट्री। और 1 घंटे से ज्यादा नहीं देना है फिजिक्स में भी। मतलब दोनों सब्जेक्ट को, फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री को आधा आधा टाइम में बांट देना है, एग्जैक्टली इक्वल टाइम देना है। अगर तुम्हारे पास लेट से 2 घंटा नहीं बचा और यू नो 1.5 आवर्स ही बचा है, तो उसमें तुमको दोनों को यू नो इक्वल इक्वल टाइम देना होगा। 45 मिनट्स और 45 मिनट्स देना होगा। ठीक है, वो चीज थोड़ा सा ध्यान रखोगे तो टाइम मैनेजमेंट ठीक से रहेगा। सरीना, जल्दी आना है ऊपर।
सर मैं ऐसा नहीं था कि कुछ हो गया, वो मैंने कुछ एंड के लिए छोड़े थे क्वेश्चन, फिर वो उड़ गया मेरा, वो सिग्नल प्रॉब्लम आ गया था, फिर सब उड़ ही गया, मैं
अच्छा
कर ही
तो
नहीं पाई।
अच्छा तो फिर दोबारा तुम बोलते हैं इनको खोल देने के लिए। खैर कोई नहीं, थोड़ा ध्यान रखो। अब जो जब टेस्ट हो रहा होता है, या तो अब तो खैर तुम लोग जो सेंटर ही खुल जाएगा तो अब सेंटर पे ही आके टेस्ट दोगे। एंड आई विल सी कि तुम लोग नीट का तो इसी साल बस ऑनलाइन हुआ था ना, बाकी तो पेन एंड पेपर ही होता है। तो हम लोग कोशिश करेंगे कि तुम्हारा पेन एंड पेपर ही हो। ऑनलाइन भी कहाँ, इस बार भी तो पेन एंड पेपर ही हुआ था मेरे ख्याल से। तो पेन एंड पेपर टेस्ट ही तुम्हारा होगा, तो उसमें ज्यादा तुमको ये रहेगा, कोई ये सिग्नल का लॉस और ये सब चीज से बचेंगे अब हम लोग। तो लास्ट ही टेस्ट था मेरे ख्याल से। कुछ टेस्ट लेंगे ऑनलाइन भी, कुछ टेस्ट लेंगे ऑफलाइन भी, क्योंकि अभी भी ये आ रहा है। अभी तो काफी ये चल रहा है कि नीट में भी दो अटेम्प्ट दिया जाए। सो गवर्नमेंट के जितने ये हैं उन सब के बीच में आपस में डिस्कशन चल रहा है बेसिकली। तो इसीलिए नीट का डेट भी अभी तक नहीं आया है। मतलब गवर्नमेंट इज सेइंग टू गिव 2 attempts फॉर नीट ऑल्सो, बट द बॉडी विच कंडक्ट्स नीट, नॉट एनटीए, बट जो मतलब जो सेंट्रल बॉडी है ये मेडिकल एंट्रेंस एग्जाम का, वो लोग कह रहे नहीं, एक ही हम लोग अटेम्प्ट देंगे। तो इसीलिए डिस्कशन चल रहा है, क्योंकि आईआईटी में इन्होंने 4 अटेम्प्ट दिया हुआ है। तुम लोग को भी 2 मिल जाएगा तो तुम्हारे लिए भी बहुत अच्छा हो जाएगा। मतलब कि एक ही एग्जाम नहीं, तुम 2 बार दे पाओगे और तुमको उनमें से जो अच्छा होगा वो मार्क्स लिया जाएगा। तो ऐसा हो जाएगा तो तुम्हारे लिए बहुत अच्छा रहेगा।
तो वो क्या सेम ईयर में होगा 2 बार?
हाँ हाँ, सेम ईयर में ही होगा। जैसे आईआईटी इन्होंने क्या किया है, 3 महीने 4 महीने में 4 एग्जाम ले लिया है। वैसे ही तुम लोग को हो सकता है कि 1 महीने के अंतराल में, मतलब एक एग्जाम तुम लोग का हो सकता है मई में हो जाएगा या अप्रैल में हो जाएगा, और दूसरा तुम्हारा जून में होगा। तो 1-2 महीने के अंतराल में दोनों होगा, तो तुमको 2 अटेम्प्ट मिल जाएगा करने के लिए। और उनमें से जो जिसका अच्छा स्कोर होगा वो माना जाएगा। ठीक है, लेट्स सी अगर होता है वैसा तो। नहीं नहीं होगा तो फिर हो जाएगा तो ज्यादा अच्छा है तुम्हारे लिए। क्योंकि एक दिन हो सकता है एग्जाम खराब भी चला जाए ना, दूसरे बार तुम्हारे पास मौका रहेगा उसको ठीक करने के लिए। चलिए आगे पढ़ते हैं। और तुम लोग एनालाइज कर लो, फिर हम लोग बात करेंगे। कल बात कर सकते हैं इस पे, है ना, कि कहाँ पे गड़बड़ हो रहा है, कैसे उसको ठीक करना है। थर्मोडाइनमिक्स पे आते हैं। So thermodynamics, the branch of physics which deals with the process of involving heat, work and internal energy is called thermodynamics, है ना। हम लोग पता है सबसे ज्यादा जो इम्पोर्टेंट है फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनेमिक्स, उसमें यही 3 का तो रिलेशन होता है भाई। Q इज इक्वल टू U प्लस W, है ना। dQ इज इक्वल टू DU प्लस DW। So amount of heat energy is equal to amount of work done plus the internal energy, change in internal energy. So it mainly deals with the conversion of heat into mechanical work and vice versa. Thermodynamic variables or parameters, these are the quantities like pressure, volume, and temperature, which help us to study the behavior of a thermodynamic system. There are some other thermodynamic variables such as entropy, internal energy, etc. But these thermodynamic variables can be expressed in terms of pressure, volume, and temperature. Now, thermodynamic system, the system which can be represented in pressure, volume and temperature is known as thermodynamic system. Thermodynamic system are of 3 types on the basis of mass and energy transfer. First is open system. The system in which both heat and matter can be exchanged is defined as open system. जिसमें heat system के अंदर आ सकता है, system से बाहर जा सकता है। और जो मैटर है, मतलब मास भी कम हो सकता है, ज्यादा हो सकता है। तो ऐसे सिस्टम को ओपन सिस्टम बोलेंगे। सेकेंड इज क्लोज सिस्टम, द सिस्टम इन विच ओनली हीट इज एक्सचेंज इज डिफाइंड एज क्लोज सिस्टम, है ना। जिसमें बस हीट एक्सचेंज हो सकता है, मैटर एक्सचेंज नहीं हो सकता, उसको क्लोज सिस्टम बोलते हैं। आइसोलेटेड सिस्टम, द सिस्टम इन विच नाइदर हीट कैन बी एक्सचेंज नॉर वर्क कैन बी डन इज डिफाइंड एज आइसोलेटेड सिस्टम। ना तो हीट एक्सचेंज हो सकता है, ना ही वर्क, you can do some work. So Such a system is called isolated system. The change in internal energy in this system is always zero. भाई अगर isolated system है तुम उसमें heat energy ना तो दे सकते हो ना उससे heat energy ले सकते हो, तो उस केस में du क्या हो जाएगा, हमेशा zero होगा. Change in internal energy is always zero. So the change in internal energy in this system is always zero, that is du is zero. Any thermodynamic process happening in this system cannot change its internal energy. अब fourth वाला है heterogeneous system. So a system which is not uniform throughout is said to be heterogeneous. Example, a system consisting of two or more immiscible liquids is called heterogeneous system. Then we have homogeneous system. So a system is said to be homogeneous if it is completely uniform throughout. Example, pure solid or liquid. Such a system is called homogeneous system. Now surrounding, anything outside the system which exchanges energy with the system and which tends to change the property of the system is called surrounding. Thermodynamic state, the state of a system can be described completely by composition, temperature, volume and pressure. So if a system is homogeneous and has definite mass and composition, then the state of the system can be described by the remaining three variables, namely temperature, pressure and volume. These variables are interrelated by equation PV is equal to mu RT. The thermodynamic state of a system is its condition as identified by two independent thermodynamic variables, that is pressure volume, pressure temperature or volume temperature. Thermal equilibrium, the state of two bodies or system in which no net heat flows between them, is known as state of thermodynamic equilibrium. So in this state, all parts of the system are at the same temperature. Now, zeroth law of thermodynamics. According to zeroth law of thermodynamics, if two systems A and B are separately in thermal equilibrium with a third system, then the system A and B, when brought into thermal contact, will also be in thermal equilibrium. मतलब A अगर C से thermal equilibrium है और B C से भी thermal equilibrium में है, तो A और C आपस में thermal equilibrium में ही होंगे, ठीक है? Then the system A and B, when brought into thermal contact, will also be in thermal equilibrium. In other words, if A is in thermal equilibrium with C and B is in thermal equilibrium with C, then A and B will also be in thermal equilibrium when brought in contact. So this law indicates that for system in thermal equilibrium, there must exist a common property which remains the same. This property is the temperature. The zeroth law defines the temperature. Now for two bodies or systems in contact, heat flows from higher temperature to lower temperature. Temperature gives a measure of the hotness or coldness of a body. So temperature is the measure of hotness or coldness of a body. And heat always flows from higher temperature to lower temperature. So when two systems are in thermal equilibrium, then only temperature is the property, of the system which is equal to that of another system. It is not necessary that internal energy, pressure or volume or of two different systems should be same. Thermodynamic equilibrium. A system is said to be in a state of thermodynamic equilibrium if the macroscopic particles describing the thermodynamic state of the system do not change with time. So consider a gas inside a closed rigid container completely insulated from the surrounding. So if the pressure, volume, temperature, mass and composition of the gas do not change with time, then it is in the state of thermodynamic equilibrium. A system in the state of thermodynamic equilibrium possesses the following equilibria simultaneously. First is mechanical equilibrium. So there is no unbalanced force in its interior or between the system and the surrounding. Thermal equilibrium, all parts of the system and the surrounding are at the same temperature, chemical equilibrium, the system does not undergo any spontaneous change in its internal structure due to chemical reaction, diffusion, etc. Thermodynamic process, a thermodynamic process is said to occur if thermodynamic variable of a system undergo a change with time. So some of the thermodynamic processes are isothermal process, is a thermodynamic process which occurs at constant temperature. ठीक है? So thermodynamic process क्या है? जब thermodynamic variable of a system undergo a change with time, we call it a thermodynamic process. पहला thermodynamic process हम लोग isothermal process देख रहे हैं. It is a thermodynamic process which occurs at constant temperature. Isobaric process, it is a thermodynamic process which occurs at constant pressure. Isochoric process is a thermodynamic process which occurs at constant volume, and adiabatic process is a thermodynamic process where there is no exchange of heat energy between system and surrounding. ठीक है, तो सिस्टम और सराउंडिंग के बीच में कोई भी हीट एनर्जी का एक्सचेंज ना हो, ऐसे प्रोसेस को एडियाबैटिक प्रोसेस कहते हैं. Now cyclic process. So cyclic process is that thermodynamic process in which the system returns to its initial stage after undergoing a series of changes. तो cyclic process क्या है? Initial stage पे system वापस चला जाए after series of changes, that is known as cyclic process. Non-cyclic process is that process in which the system does not return to its initial stage. ठीक है? So non-cyclic process is that process in which system does not return to its initial state. Quasi-static और equilibrium process. Quasi-static मतलब बहुत extremely slowly अगर process को हम लोग करते हैं उसको quasi-static process कहते हैं. So quasi-static is a thermodynamic process which proceeds extremely slowly, such that at every instant of time the temperature and pressure are same in all parts of the system. Reversible and irreversible processes. So a reversible process is one in which the change in heat and work of direct process from changes in heat and work of direct process from initial to a final state are exactly retracted in opposite sense in the reverse process, and the system and surroundings are left in their initial states. The reversibility is an ideal concept and cannot be realized in practice. तो practice में कोई भी exactly reversible process नहीं होता, वो ideal process ही ऐसा होता है जिसमें वापस उसी position पे चले आए. Now the process which is not reversible is the irreversible process. In nature the processes are generally irreversible. Now indicator diagram or PV diagram, in equation of state of a gas PV is equal to mu RT, two thermodynamic variables are sufficient to describe the behavior of a thermodynamic system. So in any two of the three variables P, V and T are, if any two of the three variables P, V and T are known, then third can be calculated. So PV diagram is a graph between the volume V and the pressure P of the system. So the volume is plotted against x-axis, whereas the pressure is plotted against y-axis. The point A represents the initial stage of the system, and initial pressure of the system is Pi, and initial volume of the system is Vi. The point B represents the final state of the system, Pf, and Vf are the final pressure and final volume of the system. The point between A and B represents the intermediate state of the system. With the help of indicator diagram, we calculate the amount of work done by the gas or on the gas during expansion or compression. Area under the PV diagram gives you the work done. Now work done by a gas. So in various thermodynamic processes, gases expand against external pressure or are compressed by external agency. While expanding, gas does work on its surrounding at the expense of its internal energy, and when an external agency compresses the gas, it does work on the gas. Conventionally, work done by the gas is taken as positive when it expands and taken as negative when it is compressed. So work done on the gas is negative and work done by the gas is taken as positive conventionally. तो by the gas positive का ऐसे भी ले सकते हो कि वॉल्यूम वहां इंक्रीज करेगा. तो जब वॉल्यूम इंक्रीज करता है तो हम लोग पता है वर्क डन PdV होता है, वॉल्यूम इंक्रीज करेगा तो वर्क डन पॉजिटिव होगा और वॉल्यूम जब डिक्रीज करेगा कंप्रेशन के केस में तो वर्क डन यहाँ पे नेगेटिव होगा. So consider a cylinder with piston containing an ideal gas. Let P is the pressure of gas, V is the volume of gas, and A is the area of piston. Right? So pressure, volume, and area of piston. Force exerted by the gas on the piston is F is equal to P into A. Pressure into area. Suppose gas allowed to expand by distance dx. है ना, पहले इनिशियली x था डिस्टेंस इसका, बाद में ये डिस्टेंस dx हो गया. वर्क डन बाय गैस फॉर स्मॉल डिस्प्लेसमेंट dx इज गिवन बाय dw is equal to f dx, right? So dw is equal to pa into dx. So force F is equal to pressure into area, right? pa into dx. So dw is equal to a dx क्या होता है, dv होता है. So dw is equal to p dv. So here dw gives the work done by the gas as its volume changes by dv. Work done by the gas as volume of gas changes from V1 to V2 is given by W is equal to P dV from V1 to V2. If V increases, then work done by the gas is positive. If V decreases, then work done by the gas is negative. Now figure below shows PV curve for a gas that expands from V1 to V2. Note that arrow showing the direction, note the arrow showing the direction of process. तो यहाँ पे this arrow shows the direction of this process. From knowledge of graphical meaning of integration, PdV का मतलब होता है area under PV curve and V axis from V1 to V2. So PV curve के बीच में और ये वॉल्यूम एक्सिस के बीच में और V1 से लेके V2 तक इसके बीच में, this is the area when I say PdV integrated from V1 to V2. So PdV is equal to work done. So work done by the gas is area under the PV curve. So work done by the gas is area under PV curve and V axis from V1 to V2. Important points regarding work done. First is when gas expands, it does work on the surrounding and loses its energy in the process. Hence, expansion tends to decrease internal energy of the system and hence decrease its temperature of gas. When gas is compressed, surrounding does work on the gas and gains energy in this process. Hence, compression tends to increase internal energy of the system and hence increase in temperature of the gas. Now this question, a gas expands in a piston cylinder device from V1 to V2. The process being described by pressure P is equal to A by V plus B, where P pressure, V volume. The work done in the process, work done is equal to P dV का integration V1 से V2. So P dV मतलब A by V plus B dV का integration V1 से V2. So this is A by V dV integration V1 to V2 plus B dV integration V1 से V2. V to the power -1 है ना, तो V to the power, तो A by V का है ना इंटीग्रेशन करते हैं तो log V होता है, तो this is A ln V V1 to V2 plus BV V1 to V2 A ln V2 by V1, ठीक है, ln V2 minus ln V1 is ln V2 by V1 plus, समझा देते हैं, इसको लिखेंगे A ln अपर लिमिट मतलब v ln v2 minus ln v1 is equal to b v2 minus v1. so इससे हमारा आ जाएगा दिस इज इक्वल टू a ln. अब देखो log का प्रॉपर्टी होता है log a minus log b is log a by b. ln v2 by v1 plus b times v2 minus v1. तो ये ऑप्शन 4. Is it clear?
यस सर.
चलो we'll stop here. इसके आगे हम लोग नेक्स्ट क्लास में करेंगे, कल की क्लास में, है ना? Is it clear?
सर
हाँ जी बेटा.
सर आप ये थर्मोडायनेमिक्स वाला भेज देंगे डॉक्यूमेंट?
ये जो अभी पढ़ा है,
हाँ हाँ.
हाँ अभी तुरंत अपलोड कर दे.
ओके, थैंक यू.
बाय सर. थैंक यू.